everybody, my name is Analyticalplum and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit random, I suppose. I had this thought to watch the last episode of Riverdale now that it's over. Yes, I am subjecting myself to this torture. I have only watched the first, I'd say, season, perhaps maybe the second one. I'm not completely sure. Last I remember of it was that Betty and Jughead's character got together and there was this whole thing with a gang and Hiram, I think his name was. Yeah, that's the last I remember. I stopped watching it then for some obvious reason. I have not gone back to it at all. I have seen some clips online, like on TikTok, of the direction it decided to take throughout the years. I'm very unsure what sort of show it's turned into now. It's very bizarre. Yeah, that's what I'm doing today. It's going to be quite unique, I think, though. Let's jump straight into it. Let's go.
67 years have gone by. It's the present day. Since our last chapter, teenagers have become adults, gotten married, raised children of their own. Many have taken their last breaths.
We've only just started and I'm already flabbergasted. What, we've time travelled now? 67 years into... where? Backwards? Forwards? What? Netflix has done a wrong one. They spelled "and" wrong.
You knew him in high school, didn't you, Grandma Betty? Seems like he was an interesting person.
He was. Well, we all were. We had such marvelous adventures. Oh, you wouldn't have believed it, Alice.
So was the setting of Riverdale supposed to be in the past? What, in like the 40s, 60s? So who's dead?
That means I'm the last of them. I want to go back to Riverdale one last time before it's too late.
It already seems like everyone's sodded off. I mean, I think it's already a bit too late.
Hello? I was going through our yearbook, trying to remember. I could go back to how it was.
Are they not friends anymore? Did they just all split up and go their own way? And she left Riverdale? Did everyone else stay? I just feel like this is going to be full of questions. My apologies.
I just wish I could go back to how it was.
You could pick a day, and I'll take you.
I never got my yearbook signed.
You just have to walk through that door, and you'll have your day. The day you missed.
This is like a mixture of Scrooge, schizophrenic episode, and... oh, I don't even know.
It's exactly like I remembered. Hello, room.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Sound like Willy Wonka.
My window. How many sunrises have I seen out this window?
Is she got a bit doolally in her old age? Does this all pass through to like how she is now? She seems like she's never seen the outside before.
Archie's about to have a big talk with his mom about what he's going to do after graduation.
Hopefully not discuss the epic lows and highs of school football.
I'll be building the highways that help connect people and places. It'll give me something to write about.
But you've written so many wonderful poems in Riverdale.
It's only going to be 3 months, and then I'll be back.
He's like a completely different character as to how he was in season 1. What happened to all these guitar and like brooding looks? It all seems to have just completely changed.
You're just like your father. He was full of wanderlust. He always dreamt about settling in the West.
Go
He never
West!
Mrs. Andrews was always such a kind woman. She once gave my mother hell for disowning me.
What does she do?
Mom! Polly! You're alive! And you're so young, and you're talking again. You did it. You divorced Dad, you became a stewardess, just like you dreamed. Just look at me.
This is so bizarre. Even if I feel like if you were to follow the story along and you've watched it, I feel like this is still just so bizarre. The way everyone's acting, everyone's just. I don't even know.
No, wait, don't rush off, Mom. Can I just look at me, just. For heaven's sake, I'm looking at you, Betty. And I'm seeing a girl who, if she doesn't have the mumps, better hurry up so she's not late for school.
I never remembered her being this nice. Like, Betty's mum.
I love you, Polly.
None of them said it back. You losers.
One night, her pilot had a steak, 3 martinis, and a heart attack. And your mom took control of the plane and flew it from Riverdale to Poughkeepsie, landing it safely.
And she just knew how to do that? Maybe I should just start carrying around loads of licenses wherever I go, and then I can ride a submarine. And I'll be in charge of planes. Although you wouldn't want to be on my plane if I take charge.
What about Polly?
She had her twins, Juniper and Dagwood. She was very fulfilled.
Right, I'm sorry if these are your names, but they are absolutely terrible names.
She led a happy life with her family, but she never got back to performing as polyamorous.
I only ever saw Polly perform.
Why is Jughead the picture of like the ghost spirit who's leading her around? I feel like he's the worst person to do that. Because you'll just be sat there reminiscing and he'll be like, oh yeah, I was weird once. That used to be me, but I used to do it even weirder.
Haven't even graduated yet. Too soon to be swamped with nostalgia. That said, I'm feeling a little verklempt myself.
That was a lot of words I didn't understand much of. Wait, I missed that. What time was that? Wait. Is that the time period we're in? 40s? 50s? 60s?
As we seniors look forward to graduation, it's only fitting that I share one final poem with you.
Please
Langston
don't.
Hughes.
No.
For if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Why is there so many
And with
poems?
Principal Weatherby's
Did the director or the producer or whoever it was just whack out a bunch of poems one day and just wanted to show it off indirectly? I feel like that's what's happened.
Tony always made sure that Riverdale High was in dialogue with whatever greater issues were affecting the country.
It's true. And that would continue until...
Don't.
Why is he like that? It's true.
Can I please get my yearbook and will you sign it for me?
Not right now, Betty. As you can see, I'm busy. Later. I expect you at my and Tony's art show opening at the Darkroom tonight. And afterwards, we're hosting a little get-together at Thornhill. Now move along, Betty. There's a line behind you. Toodles.
Fangs is used to giving out autographs now that he had a hit single on the charts.
Baby, come on. Pixie Girl only made it to number 8.
That's a huge accomplishment. And what finally got my parents to sing another tune about us getting married. And wait till you hear his next song, Betty.
Speaking of, we got a moat. I'm supposed to be at the recording studio in half an hour to lay down some tracks before going on my summer tour.
Why has everybody already got like full-fledged careers when they're supposed to be like 18 and married?
4 weeks into his tour, Fangs' bus was heading over the Rocky Mountains when one of its tires blew. There were no survivors.
He was the first one of us to.
Why is everything so dramatic? It feels like you're talking to, what's his name from The In-Betweeners? The blonde one. And he just makes up this big elaborate story for just anything. I feel like that's what's going on. Everyone's just getting an elaborate story. And it's very unnecessary.
That's his gold record over there. It'll hang in this room for as long as there's a Riverdale High.
Gets knocked down the next year.
What about?
Midge and their daughter were taken care of for the rest of their lives.
Did they have a mortgage as well at this point?
Clay and I are going to be roommates next year.
Oh.
With me going to Columbia to study literature and Kevin going to NYU to study musical theater writing, it just made sense for us to get an apartment together.
All this writing is just very dodge. I feel like we're just being told everything. Like, the conversation is just not natural. Betty at this point would probably know what Kevin is doing and where he's going. And the same with, I don't know if that's his partner or just his friend. She would know, so why would they be telling her everything flat out? It's just very weird.
Speaking about soulmates, what about you guys? Have the 4 of you figured out what you're going to do yet?
The 4 of us? What do you mean?
We're happy to keep up the ruse that you're only dating Archie and not the others.
The others.
Come on, don't tell me you suddenly forgotten that you, Archie, Veronica, and Jughead have been in a quad this entire last year.
A quad?
If he's actually being serious and they're all being serious, was this meant to be their attempt at making sure everybody's happy with which person ended up with who? Oh god, what have they even done?
After Angel Tabitha's last visit, I remembered what it was like being with Jughead and being with Archie. But Veronica and Jughead had just started a thing, and remembering all of that sort of just took the pressure off of us having to make a single choice. So the four of us realized that we could and maybe should just be together at the same time.
How have they decided that Jughead and Veronica were a good pair together? I've not even, I suppose maybe there was some character development. You tend to get that a lot with shows where two random people come together, but I do not see them fitting together in any way.
Some nights Archie would sneak into my bedroom and Veronica would go home with Jughead. Other nights Archie would spend the night at the Pembroke and I'd go over to Jughead's. And sometimes I would find my way to Veronica's.
So this is just a straight man's fantasy. They're not really all dating, are they? Because where's Jughead and Archie's relationship?
Finally called my good friend Peter Roth and asked about getting a job working for him in La La Land.
I've done the small town thing. I want to produce movies and run a studio someday.
Can I get in on this world and I could become a, let's see, what would I decide? I would become, do you know what? I can't think of anything. That's a bit disappointing, actually. Perhaps maybe if my body didn't break down, I'd be a great dancer.
Within a few years, she was running the place. She became known for her impeccable taste and for taking risks on young, raw talent. She won 2 Oscars and produced some of the most iconic movies of our time.
Of course she did.
I wish I had kept in better touch with her. With everyone, all of us. We were so close.
Quite literally.
That's what today is all about. Remembering and getting one more chance. And no regrets.
Joe, I'm starting to regret watching
Thank
this.
you all. I'll be sitting at that table over there, selling a collected edition of the first 6 issues of Black Athena, Riverdale High's acclaimed literary magazine.
It's sure to be a collector's item.
Tony and Cheryl stayed together. Moved out west together.
Why is it always West? What's so interesting about the West? I don't understand. Unless there's a whole buttload of Milky Ways, Milky Buttons, then I do not see the appeal for it.
And they had a son, Dale. Named after Riverdale, of course.
Why?
Frank Andrews and Tom Keller were murdered.
By who?
A hustler they picked up one rainy night. Named Chick.
I know that
What's
name.
happening? Do we really want to spend what could be our last night together acting like a bunch of wet blankets?
They do that
Incredibly
anyway.
fulfilling, not given the opportunity to know and love each other across not 1 but 2 lifetimes. We should be celebrating that, not mourning it, not yet, at least.
2 lifetimes? What, so are they being like reincarnated? Or is this like a different timeline to what was season 1? Surely the producer or whatever has just bit eye off his mind when writing this script.
If I had to live through high school twice, which we did,
As you do.
why aren't you there?
I can't.
How come?
Because I know, and you know, that this is the last time that all of us will be together.
Betty.
I don't want to say goodbye.
That's life, Betty. You say hello. You walk alongside someone for a while, and then you say goodbye.
See, who invited him? He just makes everything just... Oh, I know what he's saying is correct, but the way he says it just doesn't help at all.
I'm kind of a big-time poet now.
We know, Andrews. You won't stop talking about it.
I wrote
Out
something
of everything,
to commemorate our
poetry.
time. Funny to think you were never prom queen. Then again, you were once upon a time a human dialysis machine.
I specifically asked Angel to...
I'm afraid it's time for me to go.
Tonight isn't goodbye anyway. I know we'll see each other again.
Hopefully I bloody won't.
You're a professional construction worker and an amateur writer.
Then a poet.
And when you die, you ask to be buried here in Riverdale.
Well, that bleeding sucks for his wife, doesn't it?
Dear father.
Oh, my bad. I can't see a single bleeding thing.
There's one last person I want to visit before we leave. It was right after the beginning of senior year.
At least it happened in his sleep.
What do you think happens to us when we die?
God, don't ask him that question.
Yours was a life well lived. Jughead's Madhouse magazine.
It was juvenile satire at best. Do you have any regrets about not getting married?
None. But I'm so happy I adopted my daughter, Carla. I know it's impossible, but I wish that we could stay in Riverdale forever. With all of
A
our
unique
friends.
wish.
Young and beautiful.
Still be beautiful and old.
In fact, it's time to get you back.
I'm ready to face whatever comes next.
See, what happens is she goes home, she passes away, and then she's in a constant nightmare where she has to deal with Jughead forever, and he's just always there whispering. And same with Archie, he's there just shouting poetry in her ear. Eternal hell.
Oh, Grandma, look, we're nearly there.
Goodbye, town sign.
It was wonderful getting to grow up here.
She's asleep.
Is she?
I don't think she's asleep.
You're mine. You're mine.
We'll leave him here. Forever 17.
I don't think I'd always want to be forever 17. I feel like that's one of the worst stages. Well, that was a bit of an abrupt ending. Damn. What, did they just want to give me one last scare before it ended? So that was Riverdale. It was something. I'm not quite sure how to feel after that. Obviously, it was a bit entertaining, but I think that was because I don't know anything that happened. So I was a bit more intrigued in a way, because although everything they were saying was just so out there and so random that it just confused me. I was just, did that really happen? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't exactly feel like I made that 15 minutes worth it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I'd say that was quite alright. The writing was as bad as I pictured it being watching the later seasons. See, it's a shame because I really liked the first season. But yeah, as soon as it started going on, the writing just got worse, and like, especially in this finale, they were still spoon feeding everything. Like with the ending, Betty would have known where Kevin was going, so why were they acting as if she didn't know? But I don't know. I do have to say, I think everyone is quite glad that it's over, including the actors probably. I mean, the episode did make me feel a bit sad at the end, but I suppose that's just because I'm a human with feelings, and that's just what anybody would do when people die, so that's what it is. But I think I'll leave it there. I hope this has been entertaining. If it is, I'd like if you would give this video a like, if that's not too much of a problem. And I've noticed that on my analytics it says 92% of you have not subscribed. So if you haven't yet, or you have yet to, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And that way you won't miss any new videos I put out, or just any bits. I'm going to start to try and use the community tab, although I'm not great at it, but I'm going to try to. So it's a promise I'm going to try to keep. But that is everything, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!